Okay, this video is all about the lenses that we have available at WCI and what their different purposes are. So here on the table, I have out our range of lenses along with one camera with our stock or kit lens. Stock or kit lens refers to the lens that comes with the camera. This is a versatile lens that we're going to use in a range of shooting situations. Its focal lengths are shown here. It can zoom out as much as 18 and zoom in as much as 55, okay? We talked a little bit about this already in class, but it has a variable aperture range of 3.5 to 5.6, depending on how much we are zoomed in, okay? In our widest range of lenses, we have the Millennium Falcon. This is an off-brand fisheye lens. You can see that convex glass. This lens is going to have a really wide range of view at only 8 millimeters focal length, and I believe its lowest aperture range is 3.5. We're going to be changing our aperture on the lens on this one, okay? So it's gonna show up in your camera as probably 0, 0, but you're going to physically turn this ring to adjust what aperture you would like, okay? Again, that's our fisheye lens, Millennium Falcon. We also have another very wide range lens that can go as wide as 18 millimeter called Jar Jar, so named because he is a trade of all but a master of none, and he has a range of 18 to 200, so we would consider him a medium telephoto lens. His aperture range is 3.5 to 6.3 based on how much zoom is happening, okay? We've got a not great autofocus on him. You're mostly gonna need to manually focus, okay? Manual and autofocus switch down here, and our zoom, which can expand up here. Technically, he does have a macro range, but as I said, he's not great quality. BB-8 here is one of what we would call a pancake lens, macro range at 0.98 feet. The focal length is 40, so again, you're going to need to move your body closer and further from your subject in order to zoom in or out, okay? And our aperture range, we can go nice and low at 2.8. Again, with this one, I would say that the autofocus is temperamental, so try it out, but do know that you may need to switch to manual focus in order to get a sharp, crisp image. We have R2-D2, another pancake lens at 24 millimeters, so quite wide in terms of how much is included in the shot, and also with an aperture lowness of 2.8. You can bring your f-stop down to 2.8 when you have R2-D2 on. Luke and Leia and Yoda is on one of the cameras at the moment, are all our 50 millimeter pancake lens. We would call this one kind of the master of low lighting. We can go down to 1.8 with our aperture on this one. This is a good prime lens to start out with if you're looking to expand your lenses. Like all of them, try the autofocus first, and then if it's not working for you, switch to manual focus. The manual focus has never failed on these ones, okay? The Hans is getting into our pricier lenses. This is an 85 millimeter, and Hans is a low aperture range of 1.8, so going to be great for low lighting. I like this one for portraits. I call this one a portrait lens because you can be a meter to 2 meters away from a person and still get a nice close focus of their face and not be so close that they're smelling your breath. We have two telephoto lenses here, Vader and Mall. Vader and Mall are intended for shooting sports photography or wildlife photography because they have a focal length range up to 250, okay? So we're gonna be able to see things a lot further away from us, magnified as though we are close up. And they have a low aperture range of 4 to 5.6, depending on how zoomed in you are to your subject. Okay, both of them, I'm not like entirely happy with their autofocus, but occasionally it does surprise me. So usually I like to keep them on manual focus. And then our most expensive lenses and the heaviest lenses are Scrooge and Chewy, both of which are a macro lens of a fixed focal length of 100. Okay, and a 2.8 aperture range, okay? When you are using Chewy or Scrooge, you must keep your left hand holding that lens. These are substantially weighty lenses, okay? Please check the other video that I'm going to share for how to change out your lenses with your camera when you go out and try to take different focal length shots. Use the lenses for their intended purposes, so wildlife or sports, wildlife or sports for our telephoto, macro close-ups of anything with lots of texture or detail. Hans, Luke, and Leia are going to be good for portraiture or low lighting. We want to use them for that nice low aperture range. Our wider angle lenses like 24 millimeter, 8 millimeter, and 18 millimeter are going to be good for some landscape shots. And I'm going to do a separate little video for the lens baby because he's a little bit special too. Okay.